Hey Knowledge family, how everybody doing today? Hope everybody is doing fine. Hey y'all, before this video is over with or at the beginning or whatever, please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. But please do hit the like button. It's free, so y'all can see more of my content and everything. So please hit the like button. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. So while you looking at it, just hit it right quick. Like. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. But anyway, y'all see that this is a part 2 to the Travis Scott situation. And y'all know I rarely do part 2s. Period. I rarely do them. So this one I felt like needed to have a part 2 to it because I want everybody to know that we all go to concerts, we all go to festivals. Well, maybe we all don't, but you know, it's some of our viewers, some of our subscribers. I know I do. Some of us do go to parades, we go to festivals, we go to music festivals, we go to concerts, we go to fairgrounds, we go to things like that, you know, little boat shows and things like that, fishing shows and things. So people need to really be aware of how these things are organized and how it's being put together. And you need to know about these type of things before you attend these type of things. So when you kind of have a little insight on, wow, that's how it go, or that's how it should go, or whatever. And in this part 2, we're going to hear, and I'm going to show y'all some of the security who was supposed to been working this Astroworld festival. You will hear from a paramedic. You will hear from some more concert goers who were there. You're also going to hear, you remember the guy that I had in my first one, my part 1. I didn't name it part 1 because I didn't really know I was going to do this part 2. But you know, the Travis Scott video that I just did, you remember, for all that watched it, the guy who was describing, right when he left, he was telling everybody how it was. He had just left the concert, and I told everybody I'm not going to show his face. A lot of people were showing his face. But in this part 2, you will now see his face, and you will know who he is. And he came back. I'm going to show his face because he came back, and he wanted to say something about what the news was saying about this situation. So he wanted to put his input on that. So we're going to see that as well. So like I said, we'll see all that stuff. So everybody will know kind of what goes into a concert and what these people were saying. Security guards that was there, paramedic that was there, concert goers that was there. So y'all can kind of get an insight. And I'm going to put in everything that I need to put in as well as we look at these different clips. Okay. So now, you just have, I told everybody a long time ago, these people are not playing out here about these kids, okay? We all say that. We're not playing about the kids. We're not playing about the teenagers. None of that. And so when you have an event, okay, because it's all over this internet about this situation that just happened. You had 8 people that died doing this thing, and you had about 300 or more people who were injured doing this thing. Then you also have some concert goers that are going through a little mental challenge here because they having problems sleeping and everything from what they saw while they was there. You know, they were seeing people that couldn't breathe. They were seeing people on the ground passed away. They were seeing people getting worked on and getting CPR, and all that stuff is working with their mindset. You know, so you got a lot of people that if they wasn't hurt, they're going through a whole lot of mental issues right now because of this situation that they encountered during this concert. Okay, so now, first of all, you know, there's a lot of people mad as hell about all this, especially that 9-year-old little boy that is still fighting for his life. in the hospital, okay? They say that his organs are damaged, his lungs are damaged, have a little swelling in his brain, and a 9-year-old. And so, you know, people have to understand that they said that the father had him on his shoulder, then the father passed out, and then the boy dropped, you know, down to the ground, and that caused his injuries with people stampede or whatever, you know, acting unruly. You know, they was just acting rude as hell. So anyway, so our prayers go out to that little boy and to the other family members and to the people who are recovering about what they seen and all this good stuff. So anyway, let's get right down to it. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. This part 2, I'm getting ready. I'm going to show y'all the security people that was there, some of the paramedic, and then some of the party goers, okay? And then we're going to get into more. But I'm going to tell y'all, when you're running a festival, and a festival, concert, whatever it is, a fairground that got rides on it or whatever, when people are running these things, when you run the concert, a festival, whatever, it's different when you're running it and it's adults only attending that event. But when you mix it up and have kids, you know, young kids, children, teenagers, young adults, and adults, you have to take twice the precaution. You have to take double the precaution. Because all of this stuff gives out double liability. Okay? And so you just have to understand that. So parents, you know, when you're taking your kids out to a festival and stuff like that, please listen to a lot of things that's being said in here. So you'll kind of have a more open view on what should look right, what don't look right, what is looking right, how things are flowing, and all that for your safety and your children's safety. And if you're going to a concert or something that's just for adults and just you are going with a couple of your friends or whatever, you still need to know what to look out for, what's the signs of, uh-oh, this right here ain't right, okay? So now, these type of events and concerts and stuff, it's a much different ball game when you talking about it's also kid or children friendly, you know. So you have to have extra precaution for these kids at concerts like this, and that's for the promoters and that's for the companies that's throwing this event or whatever. You have to put extra precaution, extra security, extra medical staff, extra everything when you are also involving those kids inside this concert. Okay, so you know we're gonna talk about that, you know, because I feel like when you have kids in, if it's a fairground or where rides and all that stuff, okay, of course the security people make sure that those places are very, very safe. Not that they don't feel like it should be real safe because it's only adults. No, they keep it safe for adults too. But you just have to have twice the protection when you're talking about bringing in kids. Okay? So, like we say, we the Knowledge Channel, and I try to explain all this to people so people can understand and watch out, even for parades, when you're going to parades and stuff, what to look for, you know? What to keep your eyes open for. And that's what this part 2 is basically all about. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the security first. That's what I want to do. I really want to go over how was the security set up. How did these people prepare for this security thing? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like this, y'all, right quick. I feel like this. If you running something like it's a festival / concert, someone like Travis Scott, who is used to, his people are used to raging and stomping and acting up and all that stuff. When you know something like that, I feel like that the design might have been designed right. Don't know. But if it was designed right, then somewhere along the line, someone didn't follow how to execute that design. You see what I'm saying? So, but I do feel like with something like that in a raging thing, it should have been parents with children over here in this section, teenagers in this section, adults and young adults over here in this section, because you know they're going to be drinking, drugging, and everything else and acting a fool, and then they are away from the kids and stuff like that. So it's just so, and like I say, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to organizing these things and everything. I ain't going to tell all my secrets about how I organize things. I ain't giving all that out for free. But if you want to know how to organize something, or you are in the process of organizing something, you can always hit me in my email, cafeofknowledge88@gmail.com, okay? But anyway, all those things I feel that should have been set up, but it's not me. I didn't do it. So, but we're going to look at little different things in here about that. So first, let's start off with this security that they said this is a couple of people who was at this, security guards rather, who was at this event. And this is what they said about this whole matter. Okay? So, let's get into that. Let me do it like this. Okay. So. Okay, because when you have different security and stuff, it just needs to be on point. Okay? So now let's listen to what this chick here had to say, who was part of the security. Okay? And this is her. And she was part of security.
It's complete chaos everywhere, right? So finally, it's complete chaos everywhere, right? So finally, we figure out that we're gonna get ready to go inside. Y'all, let me just put this out there. People had bags and backpacks and everything like that. They never once searched no bags. They searched no bags. Nobody was COVID tested. Security's bags and stuff like that. And let me also remind y'all that we were regular people off the streets. Like regular people off the streets. They did no background checks. They did nothing. Okay? Nothing. So we get inside and we're basically trying to figure out like what area we're gonna work. Now, mind you guys, I only thought that I was going to be doing something simple like scanning bracelets and checking bags, something normal. Very much not. That was not the case. I was about to be doing some real life work that I'd never done in my life, so that was another problem that I just thought was so dumb. So we were walking around, basically trying to figure out where we were going to work, and it was just a mess. I'm saying, like, okay, everybody needs to call their family, let them know, like, we'll do, like, you alright, and what we got to be doing, because in a few minutes, your service is not going to work. I don't know if that's like a normal thing at concerts, because yeah, that was not normal to me. That was very sketchy and very weird. And I was like, okay, so I started letting my family know, like, I'm not gonna have service. Whoop. Mind you, my nephew and them is still outside the gates. They didn't a mess. You had security guards taking off their vest and just blending in with the regular crowd. You had security guards getting high. It was just a hot mess, okay? So, yeah, everybody's just walking around lost. Then, that's when we get to this area, and it's like where we're going to actually be working, right? Doing nothing. And I was thinking, okay, maybe that's because the concert didn't start yet, whatever. So, we were just walking around. Everything was just like, it was just like in slow-mo, just weird. The vibe was off because everybody was so confused and nobody knew what they were doing, including the people that was over us. So finally the officers leave and I'm like, okay, they're gonna go work. I was wrong. So, yeah. Let's get to when the concert is starting and there's people there. Tell me why. We're looking around because as a security, you're just standing there. You're just looking. And we're looking, and I'm looking at all these officers. And I'm like, telling my husband, like, hey, they're not doing nothing. Like, they're not even doing anything. Like, they're just recording on their phones, enjoying the concert, and basically leaving the work to us. People who are not even certified for this, okay? They are leaving the job on us, and that was just a no no for me. I was like, that's weird. I don't like that they're doing that. Like, okay, like, go, because they were already saying, like, if you don't do nothing either, you're going to get fired and you won't get your money and stuff. So I was like, okay, go over there. Like, yo, tell me why this security man, the big one that's over us, fell, and then he gets over there and does nothing, just staring at them coming over the gate. Like, he did nothing. He just watched them come over the gate. And I'm just like, this is giving me very much bad vibes. Like, I was like, this is getting wild, and it's still early. Like, it's not even dark. And I was telling my husband, I was like, hey, like, I don't want you running up to, like, a bunch of fans and stuff when stuff is going crazy, because they gave us nothing to protect ourselves. They gave us nothing to protect ourselves. They don't care about us. And I was like, it's just not worth our lives. Like, we got kids to go home to at the end of the day. So then as the day goes on, y'all, this is the part that's about to get you. So not only do we not have service, and I thought that was very strange, because the service had worked the entire time we was in there, but it did not work anymore. It completely did not work. Like, you could not get hold to nobody from your phone. I thought that was weird. I also thought it was weird that my nephew, the only security at my station. I'm the only security because everybody else left and went to go enjoy the concert, okay? So I'm the only security there. And this man literally starts raging. He's like raging, like powering up, being very weird, yelling and screaming, and just acting very delusional, and it was so creepy. Keep going, still looking around for this man. He's literally at the front of the concert. At the front of the concert, enjoying, little baby, ain't you supposed to be the boss? Ain't you supposed to be over us? Like, this is a hot ass mess. And then you got people still in the back. To work the Astroworld Festival, I was hired a few days prior to the festival to work event staff. It was pretty vague exactly what the roles would be. The day before Astroworld, I completed the orientation and the training for the process. And when I arrived on Friday morning around 7 a.m., they were still pretty vague, didn't really tell us what we would be doing. They just issued us our uniform, our jackets. You have to take a state licensing exam for a level 2 security officer. However, the training for that was extremely brief. It was an open book test. The teacher, he was actually giving us the answers as we were going through the books ourselves and trying to hurry up and fill out the answers.
Yeah, hold on and let me see if I can get it to get back on track.
Going through the books ourselves and trying to hurry up and fill out the answers. This was the night before Astroworld, and it was already approaching 11 p.m. We had been there for 3 or 4 hours. We were tired. We were hungry. After I checked in with CSC and as we walked the perimeter, I just knew that we were definitely understaffed in every sense of the word. There was probably one security guard from what I saw. I would say there was probably one security guard for every 500 to 1,000 people, severely understaffed. So I knew immediately that if 2 people decided to rush the gate, then it was over with. Well, after I initially mentioned my displeasure with working the front gates, the supervisor, he mentioned that there might be another position that I'd be interested in, and then he mentioned that it would still be a security type role, which I really didn't have any real training in. So I just decided it would be best to just leave and to just not work the festival altogether because who were there. This man we talked to, his name is Jackson Bush. He basically says he had never even been to a concert before. The most security he had ever done was sitting outside.
Okay, now this is the third security.
Day job as an auto
who's telling his story.
Just showed up, got the job essentially on the spot, and is obviously extremely traumatized by what he saw. Listen to what he just told us. Did they have any qualifications? I doubt it because I didn't show anything. You didn't show anything, but I didn't even show my ID. And you were in there as a security guard. Did you have a uniform? I had a uniform. They gave us this. I was already in this all black. I was already in all. So wait, so you show up, they don't ask for your ID, they don't ask for any certification, and they just hand you the uniform? And then you go to the phone number. But see, they know your name? They know my name. We wrote our name on like a sign and shit. Respectfully, do you feel like you were qualified for this situation? I do. I don't believe I was prepared. I don't think you were prepared. I was qualified because I believe that if we were all prepared
Okay, family. So, y'all did see that, right? Okay. So now, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I wanted to talk about this security. Because, as y'all heard her say, that, you know, they just went there and they had on a thing, allegedly, what I saw. Well, I can't say allegedly because I did see that they had on the news that they was paying some of these security. They put it in the paper or something that they was paying $17 an hour for security. So as you hear her say that, you know, a lot of people just went up there to apply for it. Like she said, didn't have no experience, no background. They didn't do background checks. They didn't do anything. She said just all kind of people kind of really was coming in off the streets, allegedly, you know, applying for these jobs. Okay, so you can tell right there how the recruiting process went, how the hiring process went, allegedly. You know, now you did hear one gentleman say that they did some type of book test, but it was an open book test and the instructor was giving them the answers, and it was late at night, about 11 o'clock at night, but then the festival was going to start the next day. So a lot of them didn't have really adequate training or either no training, and they was just up there to grab that money that they so-called was paying, okay? And then you had some of those security guards that was saying that they still hadn't been paid, allegedly, so far. And it's been a little over a week now, okay? And they saying that they still hadn't been paid. So you just had so much stuff going on. So that just shows you basically, it shows us that the hiring process for the security guard, that's where kind of the breakdown went as well. Because I'm going to tell y'all, family, that's why I want to do this, because I want to give y'all some kind of insight too, that when festivals and things like that have all these things going on, concerts, or whether it's indoor or outdoor, when we was preparing for it, with all the companies that I work with, that's the first thing we do. And you heard one guy say it was one security to like every 1,000 people. Can you imagine yourself being a security guard, but you have to monitor at least 1,000 people? That ain't gonna work. Especially if fights break out, somebody fall out or something like that. One person to 100 to 1,000 people is not gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? And they're saying that 50,000 people was at this concert, but thousands and thousands of them broke in, as you seen in my last video. And if you didn't, you can go back to it. But you can see how they bum rushed the joint and to get in there. And those are people who didn't pay, didn't have no tickets or whatever. They were just bum rushing in there, and it was thousands of them doing that. They not only bum rushed the gate part and the ticket part, they was busting down side gates, jumping over side gates. So you had more people. They might have sold 50,000 tickets, but there was thousands and thousands more who snuck in, broke in, bum rushed in. So then you got to account for all of them. So that's why a lot of people are saying it was about 80,000 people there. You know, most likely that's what was there. And so I was just showing y'all how they was saying they was prepared. That girl, the girl that y'all seen that was getting the security guard, she was like the one who's supposed to been over them, wasn't paying them no attention. He was too busy trying to enjoy the concert. Then you had some security guards that came to get the job only because they was Travis Scott fans. And once they got in there, they were just pulling off their jackets and enjoying the show. So you had all that going on. And so that's when, like I said, people are blaming Travis Scott, and okay, understandably, because he do supposed to have some blame in this, but you also have to look at other blames that go. A lot of more people should be held accountable for this as well. Not only just Travis Scott. Okay, so that's what I'm showing people, that, you know, because a lot of people who don't know the ins and outs is quick to say, oh, he the cause of the whole thing. Yeah, he is a lot of the cause, but it's also a lot of the calls go to some places, you know, other places like the security. Who was the security company? Who was the security company who hired these people? You see what I'm saying? And why did the venue company hire this company? Did they not put in a whole lot of research and, you know, investigation into the security company they were going to hire? You know, and sometimes this might have been the cheapest security company to hire for the company. Like the company probably said, hey, look here, they are cheap security company, so we gonna hire them. See, you can't do that, and everybody know I know what I'm talking about, so I don't need for nobody to be talking about, oh, well, that ain't how it go. Oh, yes, sir. Because I do international and national companies, and they throw venues and concerts and things like that, events and all that stuff. And I know, you go to my Toodle section, you'll see what I'm talking about. I know that it was somewhere in there dropped the ball. And if that company was saying, I've seen where I am organizing and our company is organizing for something, and we do pick a security company, but we also look at how the security background is, that company's background. What are they known for? You know, how do they handle situations and things like that? See, all this stuff here have to take months and months of planning. You hear this girl here on one of them, and some of the guys that said that they went in either the day before to get the job and then started working. You know, either the night before the concert or the day before the concert or the day of the concert that they got hired and then got thrown off in there. And that's not how, that takes months. It might take about 6 months to plan something like that and to hire people like that. You know, so it's somewhere in there that the security did drop the ball on that. So, you know, that's why I said, so basically it just showed us that they got people off the streets allegedly that had no experience. And we talking about a security company that's supposed to have been making sure that they oversee and protect children, teenagers, adults, and young adults. And these are the people that they say allegedly that was thrown in there. And that girl was on there herself telling you, and the 2 guys were telling you how things went. And one of the guys say they just pulled out because he didn't feel like it was safe enough for him. You know? So I just wanted y'all to hear about that part right there, because you know, that just don't make any sense. So we now know that somewhere in there the ball was dropped on that end right there for its security. And, you know, now you can see why the teenagers and young adults and everybody was bum rushing the gates like that. You know, and you heard her say, you know, oh, they was jumping over the gates and this and that, and we weren't finna put our life in danger because, hey, our boss wasn't doing nothing, and the polices, the real polices wasn't doing nothing, and it was just so many, so we was just like, we just let them come on in. See, the ball started dropping right there before Travis Scott even got up on stage, okay? And we're going to get more. I'm just going piece by piece where a lot of things, where they drop the ball. And so, family, you have to realize that when you go to concerts and you go to festivals and you go to things like that with your kids or by yourself, look around and see how many security is standing around. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you go somewhere and you might see 1 or 2 people sneak in somewhere and you be like, oh, they done snuck in. But if you see 50 and 25 and 100 people sneaking in and just bypassing the ticket gate, you better turn your ass around real quick and go back to the house and be like, damn it, I don't give a damn how much you paid for the tickets or what. It's safer to make a good choice for yourself and for your family when you see that can't nobody control a ticket booth. They damn sure can't control having your life in their hands. Point blank, period. If they can't control a goddamn ticket booth, they damn sure can't control anything that happens inside that place. That's just point blank, period. So that's where the ball stops right there. So that's where parents, everybody, you need to look at things like this. When you walking in there, tell your kids, when they walking in there, that shit ain't cute when a whole bunch of people are sneaking in and jumping in. And all them people sneaking in and jumping in. Not only that, you have to think to yourself, well, if they can jump over these gates and sneak in like this and knock over the ticket stand and knock over the metal detector stand and all that, then they damn sure ain't going to be able to protect my life. Let me turn around and go. I don't give a damn if I paid $200 for the ticket, $400 for the ticket, $25 for the ticket. My life is more valuable than that. And that's what we have to tell our kids, okay? So you have to look for signs like this, okay? So now let's go to the paramedic, okay? Because there was a paramedic person that spoke out as well about how the incident went when things started, going kind of left, and how they was trying to handle that situation. Okay? So now let's go into that right there. So now we're finna hear about the medical. One of the guys who was at the medical staff and was at there.
They called us saying, hey, we need backup on the stage. So me and Medic 1 arrive at the front of the crowd, and Medic 2, Medic 3, they're like, hey, I have people, come with me. And so we walk through the VIP section down the middle of the crowd. As soon as we get past the VIP section, really shoulder to shoulder, in the thick of the crowd, there was a couple people that kind of grabbed onto my shoulder and was like, hey, there's a girl passed out over here. So me and Medic 1 separate from Medic 2 and 3. They go on their call. We go on this new one. This girl's laying down, and me and Medic 1 are asked, what's going on? And one of the people says that, oh, she's been down for 10 minutes. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm thinking, damn it, how has no one done anything? Just let her lie on the ground for 10 minutes. So I get down there, check her pulse and breathing, do my whole ABCs check, and she has no pulse, no breathing, which means she could have not been breathing with no pulse the whole 10 minutes. She's been sitting there for 10 minutes, probably no pulse, no breathing, no oxygen to her brain. I can't just throw her over my back and escort her out of the crowd because it was a 5-minute hike into this damn crowd. So I tell Medic 1, hey, I'm going to come back for you. I'm going to grab a crash bag. So I get out of the crowd and I grab my one crash bag, which was a huge mistake. I had no clue what I was getting into. So on my hike back into the crowd with my crash bag, at the halfway point right here, I find another medic performing CPR.
Okay, y'all, and then so y'all hear him, and then I have the audio that finish talking about the situation. So listen to the audio of him talking about this situation. This is the continue.
And I grabbed my one crash bag, which was a huge mistake. I had no clue what I was getting into. So on my hike back into the crowd with my crash bag, at the halfway point right here, I find another medic performing CPR. I get down, I'm like, hey dude, where's your partner? What's going on? And he's like, I don't know, man. I just saw this person. There's no pulse, no breathing. I just started CPR. I don't know how I'm going to get him out. In EMS, you have to complete your first call before you can assist on any other ones. And so I was like, okay, look, I'll come back for you too. I need to go to my original guy. So I head out, and then in the middle point between the midpoint and my end point, right here, I find a third person performing one-man CPR on another man. And I get there, I'm like, hey, what's happening? Where's your partner? And they're like, they're taking care of another unconscious person. I need to do one-man CPR. I don't know how I'm getting this person out of here. So here I am presented with 3 different EMS personnel providing one-man CPR on 3 different patients, completely isolated from each other, no backboard, no way of getting out. and I'm just like, God damn it.
Okay. So now, y'all heard that. So now we have the paramedic, who he was jumping from here to here, and he was like, everywhere he went, somebody was pulling on him, wanting help, needing help, and he would be like, hey, I'll be right back. Let me go over here because this is the first person that needed my help. And then he asked paramedic 2, hey, you stay right here with this one, and I'm going to run back over here, and then I'm going to do... So you can hear that man there. And he said it was medic 1, medic 2. He didn't want to call nobody names out and things like that. But you could see that they were overwhelmed. Okay? Then, on top of that, I don't know if y'all heard that girl say, but the phone service was taken out of that whole premises, that whole concert. You heard her say that, and the reason why I brought that up, because that paramedic who was running and running around and trying to get help and all that, even if he wanted to call his boss from the back, and they probably had radios or whatever, but still, if he wanted to contact somebody on the outside, he couldn't, because y'all heard that girl who was part of the security say that the dude who was over them told the security people, hey, call your loved ones right now, because at a certain time, all phone receptions are going to be cut off. What kind of shit is that? You say what? I'm going to tell you right now, family. I run a lot of things. Like I told y'all, I have never organized nothing, set up nothing to where we cut phone services out of that whole event. Like that whole area, no longer we shut down phone services. Why? You know, people can't even text. That's a lot of the reason why I feel that a lot of things got out of hand, because it's some people like how that girl, you go back to my first video, I showed how the girl and the guy climbed up there with the cameraman who was filming Travis Scott. They got up there and was telling him, hey, these people need help. These people need help down there. They're dying down there. Something is going on down there. And he was telling them, you know, go and get that, you know, because he's a photographer or he's a cameraman and he don't want to lose his job. But what I'm saying is, if those young kids' phone had been working, they could have called someone. And that's not going to be the only person you hear, that security guard girl. She's not going to be the only one you hear that say they didn't have phone service, because I'm going to let y'all also hear some of the concert goers that was there as well. You remember I told you the guy was in the first one telling about it, but I said, you know what? Let's hear what other people said too, because that's just one side story, what he was telling, what went down with him. How many other stories are just like his story? Okay? And so I'm going to let y'all hear those people as well. But what I was saying about that paramedic is he was running back and forth. He was overwhelmed, and he was like, well, wait a minute, this, that. And he was doing the best he could. You can hear it in his voice that now that paramedic was a very concerned person, and he cared about life, and he cared about people, and he cared about what was going on, and he was doing so. And I know it was more people like him, and they all probably was overwhelmed too, because if they didn't even have the adequate security going on, they didn't have the adequate paramedic and medical staff going on. I'm sorry. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just from me I have experience in this, and I can hear the way he was talking. I automatically know. That's just like, family, I'm gonna come right back to this. I just want to give people an example because I want the knowledge family to really know what's going on when it comes to these things. That's what we do. That's why we call the knowledge family, because we know how to dig into things, and then I can explain things to where some people probably didn't even realize and know. So for an example, family, I'm gonna say that's just like, I'm gonna give two examples. You know, that's just like, far as their phone services cut off and all that. You know, when you go somewhere and say something tragic happens, or something is going on, or you go into a grocery store, or you go into a supermarket, or you go into a department store, or you go into the mall, and if something breaks out there, you mean to tell me that somebody is making it to where you can't even call a loved one, or you can't even call 911 for help, or you can't even contact and let nobody know what's going on, or send a last text? Hell, when you in the airplane up there in the air, if something was to go wrong, at least you can send one last text to your family and say, hey, I love y'all, and something ain't right, and if I don't make it, I love each and every one of y'all. And they could have something to hold on to. In this case here, they shut off all phone service, allegedly, and I'm going to tell you, there's too many people that was at that place that said phone service did cut off. Now, as far as the black girl that was on there, that security girl, she said that the man told her, that's because she was part of security, that, hey, get your phone calls in right now, because at a certain time, and it seemed like that certain time is when Travis Scott was finna come up on stage. But you know, but it said that at a certain time, their phone service is going to be cut off for everybody in that place. And then you had some concert goers that I'm going to let y'all hear. They just said, I tried to contact my mom, and I tried to contact my dad, or they tried to contact somebody, but I couldn't get through. Well, see, they found out after they was trying to, but the security guard, whoever was over them, told them, hey, get your last calls in, because after this, you're not going to have no phone reception. What kind of shit is that? So that's what I'm saying about the experience, you know what I'm saying? And far as this paramedic, y'all, that I can tell by him running around, it was most likely short-staffed on that end too. So you had the paramedic end that was short-staffed. Then you had the security end that was not trained enough, or wasn't trained at all. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at little things like that, y'all, because look here, when you go to a festival or concert, and if something was to happen to your child, especially like this event was children friendly, you know, and they had rides. You got to think, this festival had rides and all that stuff, so it was children friendly, okay? Now, rather the children should have went into the Travis Scott concert, I can't say if that was a good call or not a good call, because it was a lot of kids that love and admire Travis Scott. And so their parents saying, okay, I'm going to take my child to this concert, you know. But parents, we got to research who our kids like. We got to listen to what they listening to. Let's see what their music is saying and stuff like that. You got to do all that. But anyway, far as this paramedic go, you see that he was running his butt off. I'm sorry. He was running from person to person. He was trying to see who he can save first and who he couldn't save first, who to save first, who to save last, who is an need immediate attention, and who he can let slide and all that. Then you heard him say that, you know, it's people with broken ankles and stuff like that, so he'll move on to something more serious. But let me tell y'all, in a situation like that, even a person with a broken ankle is in dire need of help in this situation. Now, granted, if you're out here in the regular world, or you're on the streets, or you're in a parking lot or something and you sprain your ankle, okay, and then you got another person on the side of you that is probably needing, you know, CPR or something like that, of course, paramedics go to that person first, then they come and see about your ankle. But in this situation right here, a person with a broken ankle or a sprung ankle is just as much in danger as well as the person that is unconscious by them. You know why? Because the stampede and the crushness of this crowd, if a person has a messed up ankle, guess what? They can't move, which is going to cause them to eventually fall down in that chaos pit and get stomped on, crushed on, the same way as that unconscious person is. You see what I'm saying? So in this case, everything was a dire need of emergency. But see, that's what an organizer thinks about, that most people don't. You know? And so, in this case, the paramedic company, the security company, everybody should have found out Travis Scott kind of crowd. What kind of crowd do he have? That rowdy crowd, that rage crowd. That's the crowd that if a person have a broken ankle or them fell out, all of them need immediate attention. Because if you got a broken ankle in the middle of all of a stampede, all of a crushness, and people are stomping on you and shoving, you can't do much with a broken ankle but fall down and become a victim of being stampeded on, stepped on, crushed on, everything. So that's what I'm saying. You have to think about all that, you know. But this man here was trying. He was trying, and he was doing the best he could. He really was. He was, like I said, a sprained ankle in a situation like that, they are in dire need of help too, because it ain't going to be too long before they do drop down. You can't put too much pressure on a broken, or you can't really hold yourself up and together with a sprung or broken ankle. So you are going to soon, not long, become a victim of being stampeded on. So that type of person need to be quickly ejected up out of that type of crowd, as well as the unconscious person. So I'm just trying to say, family, that's why I want to do this part too, so we can see the different effects of how things happen. You know? So, I mean, this was just, it's just crazy. You have people that was on a natural high. You had people that was on a drug high. You had people who was on an alcohol high. You had people who was on an injection high. You had all kind of shit going on in there. And that medical staff was not prepared, really, I say, allegedly, to cope and deal with all that and execute that in the most highest way. They couldn't do it. You know? That's how I feel about it. You know, so you have to look at things like that. So, once again, not only is Travis Scott could be blamed for it, now you got to look at how did the paramedic company prepare for this, and the security prepare for this. So there's a lot of blame to go around, you know, and so you just have to look at all that. And you saw an ambulance was stuck in the crowd and couldn't move in the crowd, and I mean it was just chaos, you know. And it should have been security opening up spaces for that ambulance to get through so they can attend to people. So it was just a whole lot of everything. A whole lot of people dropped the ball on this. I'm sorry, they dropped the ball. That's how I look at it. They dropped the ball on this whole situation. Now, let's talk about these concert goers, the people who went. Let's hear different people who went and what they say they encountered at this concert, okay? Now, like I told y'all, last week we did, the last video that we did on this, we did hear a young gentleman talk about his concerns, and this week we're going to see his face, okay? But first, let's start off with some of the concert goers, and let's see if their story is kind of similar to what the guy last week in our video, my last Travis Scott video, said. Okay?
Roddy Rich, I was fine, and they started playing. They usually have DJs in between sets at festivals, but they started playing this weird bass, like this just like repetitive bass noise and nothing else. And right when this thing started playing, I was like, what is this? Like, it was hurting my ears. But then I instantly got sick, and I passed out on the floor. And I even told my friend before I passed out, I was like, I'm lightheaded. And then I was like, is this noise bothering you too? And then I passed out, woke up later, people were like shoving drinks down my throat. They're like, are you dehydrated? Are you dehydrated? I'm like, no, like, get away from me. And then we go to Travis's set, we skip Lil Baby and SZA, and then I stand up because people start coming over there, and this sound starts playing again at Travis's stage, but it's way more intensified, and I start passing out again, and I wake up, and I'm like freaking out. I'm bawling my eyes out, trying to call and text my mom to come get me. I'm like, help me, like, nothing's going through. I'm freaking out. I couldn't even, this was 2 hours before Travis was getting on, and I still couldn't get out of Travis's stage. That's how many people were over there. It was insane. The fact that there were, like, fences, kind of, like, out by Travis's stage, like, keeping people, like, confined, that the only way out was to go against everyone. It was impossible to get out of there. It was insane. And then, like, people were passed out all day. It was weird. It was weird. I've never been to a festival like that. And it was cold. Like, people passed out from, like, dehydration, drugs, heat exhaustion. But, like, it was, like, a cold day. Heat exhaustion isn't out of it. And I've never seen this many people passed out. A couple more things that were weird. There was no exit. Like, to get out, you had to go through the gates you came in, go through the COVID scanning, and go through the parking lot, and then you couldn't go down any of the closed streets. Like, it was the longest way to exit. Like, God forbid if there would have been, like a mass, you know what I'm talking about? I don't want to, it would have been terrible. There was no way to get out of here.
Okay, so now, y'all heard her encounter, and now let's hear another one on what they said, how it felt. Okay?
30 seconds in the first song, I think I got like a 20-second Snapchat video of like when he first came out, and we were so close up there. I felt like the heat from the flames that was coming out of that fucking cold mountain shit he had. And not even 30 seconds into the song, dude, I gave it like that. I dropped dead to the fucking floor. And it's because all these people started trampling on us. Like, the air literally got, like, kicked out of me. And I remember I picked myself up with the little energy I had, trying to gain consciousness back. And Ricky picked me up, and he turned me around. We turned around, and he was like, help! Someone help me! Help! She can't breathe! She fainted! Someone help me! Help me! And oh my god, dude, like, I was never so scared in my life. Like, and so someone went up to Ricky and did this to his neck. They put like his arm up to his neck, and Ricky starts punching this guy. And I'm over here with like the little energy I have, just pushing people's faces like out of my fucking way, because I was literally I felt like I was drowning. These people were literally jumping over me. Ricky told me that there was a dude next to him that was like a pretty big dude, and he told him, please help us, like, my fiance, she can't breathe, she just fainted, please help us, like, please. And I remember I looked up, like, I was looking up at the sky, and I was just like, you know what, if this is it, like, this is where it's gonna happen, like, I'm gonna have to come to peace with it. And this guy just comes and grabs me from my shirt, and he's just dragging my unconscious body all over these people. It took like a good 20-30 minutes to get out of there, and we finally go to the medical tent. Ricky, he got like socked or something in the chest, and he had like a little bit, he couldn't breathe, like he had a hard time breathing. So we're using our little bit of energy to go to the medical tent. So
Okay, so now, y'all heard that one. Okay, and then this one.
Probably because I've never been surrounded by so many lifeless bodies. I haven't been able to stop thinking about what was happening all around me. It was so demonic. The energy was so demonic. The set was demonic. Travis was demonic. We were literally in hell. Like, it felt like we were in hell. Nobody could breathe. We were all suffocating. Everybody around me was suffocating. We were sitting on our tiptoes, and all you see is everyone around you, chins up, gasping for air. That's all you see around you. There was no room for mosh pits. There was no room to breathe. We couldn't even breathe. We didn't even have enough room to, like, I'm sore. Like this hurts to take a deep breath today. Like, we couldn't even breathe in there because everyone's bodies were literally suffocating us. Suffocating us so bad that people were bleeding out of their mouths and their nose. People were screaming bloody murder, literally. Begging for help from anybody. There was nothing that anybody could do. The floors were covered in bodies. You're doing your very best. We're fighting for our fucking lives. We're doing our very best to stay up. You couldn't even put your foot on the ground. You're stepping over other people, you're stepping over other people's shoes, just trying to fucking breathe. I'm surrounded by unconscious bodies. I don't even know if these people were alive. There's just people all around you with their eyes rolled in the back of their heads, just being moved with the crowds. There was nowhere we could go. We were trying to push back. We were trying to push back to get out. And we're just getting pushed forward. We're just getting pushed deeper into the crowd. There's sinkholes of people in the crowds all around me. Like, if I would have hit the floor, I would have never gotten up. You can see, like, adults holding their children up, like, trying to get them to safety. There's kids, like, pissing and shitting themselves as a trauma response. Like, imagine going to your first concert, like, this is how you think, like, concerts are. Like, it took us 30 minutes to get out of the crowd, and we were in the back. As we finally get out, you just see people running out, bawling, lips blue. There's people, they're dragging dead bodies out of the crowd. Dead bodies. And Travis knew. Travis had a bird's eye view on everybody and could see everything. He was asked multiple times to stop, and his responses are, you know what you were here for, something like that, and let's rage.
Okay, so, y'all heard that one. And so this is what I'm saying, y'all. Listen
this girl
to this one.
Gets helped over, but she's out cold, bro, like completely out. And I don't know if it was her boyfriend or whoever she was with, but whoever she was with started crying like hysterically, and she's like, she's not waking up, there's no pulse. And bro, it's like giving me chills right now thinking about this shit, bro. But they started giving her CPR, and I mean nothing, bro. Literally, pretty much the whole Travis performance, they're giving her CPR, and they're like, "Where's the paramedics? Where's the paramedics?" Because I mean, bro, like literally, like it took the paramedics probably 30 minutes to get through, and once they got through, they tried to do CPR on her, and nothing. Then they started carrying her out on a stretcher, bro, and they dropped the stretcher. And her body, like, just her lifeless body just topples over onto the ground again. And they, like, pick her back up and put her back on the stretcher. I mean, bro, I can't even, oh, God, bro, like, I can't even, it was horrible. It's so hard for me to talk about that. I can't even, like, bro, it's seriously, like, it makes me sick, bro.
And you remember that was the guy who was asking to stop the show. Now you're going to see him do a news report on it. Okay?
Aiden Cruz was booed as he begged for the Astroworld Music Festival to stop. I mean, I forgive them.
That's him.
I forgive them because
that's the one who was up there with the cameraman.
Was in there to understand what I went through. Girlfriend and her best friend, Brianna Rodriguez. And you're just like suffocating, you're like counting your last breaths. And you did too. Yes, and I went to a state where I accepted that I was gonna die. As the crowd raged, Aiden prayed. Pray for him to accept me into heaven, you know, accepting him as my Lord and Savior. In that moment, a miracle. Aiden says he locked eyes with a friend who dragged him up from a pile of people. His girlfriend rescued too. She's shaking, she's crying, and she's asking me where her friends are at. I don't even know where they're at. With no sign of Brianna, the basketball player made this split-second decision. I just felt like no one else was gonna do it, and it would save Bree, and it would save those people that were beneath my feet. We now know the concert continued. Emergency crews eventually reached Brianna. The 16-year-old Heights High School student is among the 8 who died. Everything feels like it's not real. Okay, about the deaths.
Okay.
It was about 8
so now.
And this is what's crazy.
So now, hold on. Okay, I'm going to let y'all see his in a minute. Okay, so now y'all see some of the witness. And y'all know that guy that y'all just saw. Y'all remember he was the one that climbed up there with the cameraman with that girl. And he was on that ladder saying, stop the show, stop the show. Y'all seen that in my first one, and then they showed some clips of him doing it again. But that was him who was just sitting at that table talking to the news reporter people. And he was up there because, like he said, his girlfriend friend was down there dying. That was that girl that they just showed who is among the 8 who has passed away. And so prayers goes out to her family. But that's what he was up there doing. And at the time when we did part 1, I didn't know that. I knew he was trying to save people, but he also was trying to save his girlfriend's best friend that was laying down there who was unresponsive, okay? And that's why he was trying to tell them, stop the show, stop the show, stop the show. And that other girl, she just joined in to help him tell, because she probably knew some people too, or seen some people down there on that ground that didn't look right, okay? So that's what we was trying to say about that. Now, you remember the guy that I told y'all, I said I'm not going to show his face in the last video. I said, but, you know, some people are showing his face. Well, I'm going to show his face today because he came back out and he heard a news report. So he wanted to speak out on what he heard from the news report, okay? So listen to this.
And this is what's crazy. My parents came home, and I was talking to them, and one of them has a co-worker who was at the fest. Mind you, this is a grown lady, you know what I'm saying? And she told my people the same thing I told everyone. This is what I seen with my own 2 eyes. This is the VIP section. It's like 100 yards long. I'm way in the back, at the end of the VIP section, way in the back. And I kid you not, just right there right over the gate that I was sitting on, you can look over, and it was like 10 people laid out, not moving. They tried to do CPR on a couple of them, but they couldn't do nothing. More people was rushing over, asking for help. They was moving on to the next, and I was just literally just looking there, and they was like a blackish bluish color, going, it was scary. So that's what happened with that. But look, that was just right there. I kid you not. Through the whole VIP section, anybody who was there who noticed, I know a lot of y'all people who was at the concert, y'all seen this. That VIP section was full of bodies. I said 100 bodies. I know what I seen. If I would have just seen 8 people, I seen a couple people, laid out on the floor. I think they passed out or either packed. That thing was packed with people. I don't know where them bodies at. I don't know what they did with them people, but I know what I seen. I don't know if they was necessarily just, they just fainted, and a lot of them people ended up getting out and getting help. But that's just what I seen in the VIP section. So imagine both sides of the crowd. Imagine all of those people who was in there, who got swept underneath, who they didn't even know was missing. And to the end of the concert, when they cleared everything out, and those bodies just was laying there lifeless. Most definitely more than 8 people, because I seen 10 people alone next to me. Blue, dead, wasn't getting up, gone, did CPR, nothing happened, dead.
Okay, so now y'all heard that, brother. Okay, so I just wanted to let y'all see different accounts, and like that brother said, that brother there said, I'm sorry y'all, but that brother there said that, they're saying, 8 people has passed away, and you can hear a lot of these people that y'all just heard. You had one girl said bodies was everywhere. Yeah, it could have been fainted bodies, but it was a lot of people that said it was more than that they feel, allegedly. Okay, so you just have so many different accounts, so that's what I wanted everybody to hear, different accounts, because you remember on the first one he was saying all that, and then you would wonder, like, okay, I wonder if it was just him that saw all that. And that's why I put those clips together of different people that was also basically saying the same thing that he was saying, and so but that was him who was on the first one. That's him. Okay, so now you had Travis Scott come out, and he made a statement, and he said he didn't he had no idea of the severity of the situation. And then you had some people that were saying, oh, he lying because he looked dead at the crowd. He knew this, that. That's just, that. So that's how a lot of people feel. Okay, and then you had his girlfriend, Kylie Jenner, who is a Kardashian, that she put out a statement and said that people didn't inform him and her. Like, they didn't know what all happened at the concert until after they was already gone and left. Now people are saying she telling a tale too. They said she lying too. That's what they say now. They say that she lying too because during when things was getting real hectic and chaotic, that all of a sudden they got escorted out. Okay? And now these people say when they got escorted out, when Travis' girlfriend, which is that Kardashian girl, Kylie Jenner, and she had her sister Kendall Jenner with her, and then she also had her little daughter that she has by Travis Scott. They all was and Travis Scott's mother. They said they all was being rushed out of the VIP station to leave out of there. They was rushing them out of the VIP section, allegedly. Now, you can go to TMZ, and they do have a video showing them being escorted out of the concert while Travis is still performing. So, somewhere, someone probably did feel like they needed to come out of there because of what was going on. But they did get escorted out of there very quickly. Okay? So that's why people say that now she's telling the tale about how they didn't know the severity, because they said on their way out of the VIP section that they passed a lot of people who was laid out, that they passed the medical tent where all those people was being, worked on or getting medical attention, and that it was a lot of passed out bodies and stuff over there by the VIP section. So they said that it was no way that they feel that they went past all that and didn't see it. They claim that's the reason why they hurried up and escorted them out of there, because of the chaos and stuff that was going on at that time. Okay, allegedly, that's what they say now. Okay, now, so you just have a whole lot of different things going on at this concert, okay? And that's why I wanted y'all to hear and everything. And I'm not through. I want y'all to hear this, because the police chief or captain or whoever it is for that city, he said that he did go to Travis Scott's trailer a couple of hours or a couple of minutes before. It was one of the two. Y'all will hear it on here. I'm going to let y'all hear it. But they said that that captain or that lieutenant or whoever it is over there, Houston Police Department, said that once he saw, I guess, how the crowd was, how it looked, it didn't look right to him, that he did go to Travis Scott's trailer and tell him he had some concerns about this crowd. Now, whatever was said after that between him and Travis, or Travis reassured him that it was going to be okay, or we don't know. All we know is the man said that he had some concerns, and he did go to Travis' trailer and talk to him about this crowd concern before Travis even came out on stage. But Travis came out on stage anyway. Okay? So then, let me let y'all hear that. Then we're going to talk about the history of Travis Scott, okay, and his concerts, okay. So let's look at this right here right quick, and then check this out, y'all. Okay.
Fun stories to tell, and I mean, this time you barely make it out alive. In the photo, 19-year-old Kaya Reedus.
This is another couple who was there.
Prior to Astroworld yesterday, they're smiling. Today, the friends were very subdued, traumatized, as they said. This time at Astroworld, it was totally different. It was just like a concert from hell. The way they described the scene at Energy Park Friday night is enough to rattle someone who wasn't even there, unable to breathe. Piles of people on the ground, some clawing on their clothes as a lifeline, trying to get up so they weren't trampled, pressed so close to strangers that you couldn't lift your arms or turn your head. They were trapped and helpless.
Okay, I want y'all to hear that part right there. Hold on, y'all. You're going to hear Travis say, you have to listen, who told me to stop? As it now, so that brings a lot to me right there. Listen to him say, who told me to stop? Listen to right after this.
Escalated when Travis Scott took the stage and people pushed their way to the front. Both Reedus and Scott were rescued by strangers. They tried to get help for other people who were passed out, being stepped on, but the show continued. Scott lost a lot of respect for the musician who he was a big fan of prior to last night. And people are blaming it on they're saying, these people are all on drugs. I was stone cold sober the whole time and I could not get out of there. Even after seeing the images of the concert.
Hold on, y'all. It's looking kind of dark for some reason.
It's tough to.
Hold on.
Fun stories to tell.
Okay.
And I mean, this time you
okay.
Really make it out alive. In the photo, 19-year-old Kaya Reedus and 20-year-old Zachary Scott took prior to Astroworld yesterday. They're smiling.
And I want y'all to listen. You're going to hear Travis Scott say, who told me to stop?
Like a concert from hell. The way they described the scene at Energy Park Friday night is enough to rattle someone who wasn't even there, unable to breathe. Piles of people on the ground, some clawing on their clothes as a lifeline, trying to get up so they weren't trampled, pressed so close to strangers that you couldn't lift your arms or turn your head. They were trapped and helpless.
You heard that?
I was literally praying and I was like, please get me out of here. This is not how I want to go, please. The friends say things escalated when Travis Scott took the stage and people pushed their way to the front. Both Reedus and Scott were rescued by strangers. They tried to get help for other people who were passed out, being stepped on, but the show continued. Scott lost a lot of respect for the musician who he was a big fan of prior to last night. And people are blaming it on they're saying, these people are all on drugs. I was stone cold sober the whole time and I could not Even after seeing the images of the concert, if you weren't there, Scott and Rita say it's tough to fully comprehend the vulnerable situation that thousands of people found themselves in. That's not how a concert.
Okay, so y'all did hear that, right? Okay, now let me let y'all hear the report of the detective, or the not the detective, but the captain or the lieutenant or whoever said to Travis Scott, went to his trailer and said he had some concerns before.
In Houston, the FBI now joining the investigation after a massive crowd rushed the stage when the rapper came on, trampling attendees. At least 8 people killed and hundreds injured. A Texas police chief now saying that he met with Scott before the show and warned him about that crowd. Also tonight, more than a dozen lawsuits have been filed against Scott, hip-hop artist Drake, who also performed, and event organizers. Attorneys behind one suit claiming Scott has a, quote, history of inciting violence and creating dangerous conditions for concert goers.
The crowd surge so crushing. Witnesses say it knocked fans unconscious before being trampled.
Everyone was pushing to the front. You had no room to walk.
Some so desperate, they climbed onto the stage shouting for help.
We need somebody to help. Somebody pass out right here.
Despite several pauses, authorities worked to shut the show down for almost 45 minutes before it ended. Scott and organizers criticized for not stopping sooner. Crews rushed 25 people to hospitals. At the scene, hundreds overwhelmed medical staff. Some fans even appearing to dance on top of rescue vehicles. Today, Houston's police chief saying he met with both Scott and security moments before he took the stage, quote, to share his concerns regarding public safety.
Okay, so y'all did hear that that he did meet with Travis Scott because he had some safety concerns of the crowd and everything else before Travis Scott even went on stage. So, but the main thing is Travis still went out on stage. Okay, so now let's talk about the history of Travis Scott. Okay, so everybody can see this. And I feel like a lot of parents need to research. If they're going to take their kids to some concerts and stuff, you need to research about the artists. You need to research about their music. You need to research about how they conduct their concerts. You know, look and see other past concerts that they did and things like that before. Because nowadays, before you go jumping and, oh, your kids say, such and such having a concert, I really like them, I want to go. Okay, let's go. You got to do research now. You really do. You got to do research now on who you are letting your kids go see, who you are taking your kids to go see and listen to. Okay, now, in 2015, Travis Scott was arrested when he performed at a Lollapalooza concert in Chicago. And he was arrested for telling all his fans to climb over security barricades, okay, and ignore security, okay. So in 2015, at that Lollapalooza concert, he encouraged his fans to jump over barricades and ignore the security and ignore the police and all that. Just come on, jump over. So they arrested him in 2015 for that, okay? Now he pleaded guilty to reckless conduct, okay? And he was put on a year supervision. Okay, so that was he was under court supervision for a year. Okay, that was in 2015 for doing that at that concert in Chicago. Okay, and so then in 2017 in Arkansas, he was arrested again for encouraging his fans to bypass the barricades and rush the security and rush the stage and all that. So he was arrested in 2017 again in Arkansas for doing that at his concert. Okay, then in 2017, Travis Scott encouraged his fans to jump over balconies that was 2 stories high. He encouraged them to jump over the balconies into the crowd, and the crowd will catch you, the crowd will catch you, and he was encouraging the crowd. This was in New York City at a concert, okay? Now, he encouraged them to jump over these balconies and stuff. Now, one guy, don't know if he jumped over there or somebody pushed him or whatever, but he came down from that second balcony, and now he's paralyzed. Okay, and that was in New York, okay? Then, in 2019, at the Astro Festival down there in Houston, this was in 2019, that he also, it was 3 people injured at that one, okay? And they was taken to the hospital for like leg injuries and things like that after being trampled over. So that was in 2019 at that Astroworld Festival, okay? So you have to look, Travis has a history of doing this. And this is what, you know, he done been in trouble, been arrested for it or whatever, but this is his history that his crowd rages and rages and rages and rages. And it was one clip I saw that I don't know where this concert was he was at, but his shoe came off and somebody took his shoe, and he thought, I guess somebody was trying to steal his shoe, and he was telling the crowd to F him up, F him up, F him up, and they had to hurry up and get that boy up out that crowd. He was inciting for his fans to F the boy up because the boy had his shoe. You know, and I feel like this. You know, some people, some of your fans love souvenirs and shit. So, hell, he took the shoe. That let him have the goddamn shoe. But telling people to F him up and F him up. So, what if that had been y'all child that was there and had Travis Scott's shoe? Because they look at it as a souvenir. Okay, and now the shoe might have been very, very expensive, and he didn't want to let go of them shoes, but still, it's a way to approach that. Could tell security, say, hey, look here, get my shoes from him, bring me my shoes back, and throw him out of here. You could do it like that. But to incite the crowd to F him up, that's all violent. You see what I'm saying? That's violence right there. So, it's a lot of people taking their kids to the concert, and there's a lot of parents probably didn't even know all this background went on with Travis Scott. They know that their kid loved Travis Scott, and they let their kid go to Travis Scott's concert, or they take their kid up there, and then this is the outcome of what happened. So we as parents have to be more alert on what's going on with our kids and our kids' music for real. We got to be on point with that, because Travis have a history of inciting chaos and breaking rules and disorderly conduct and dangerous actions and all that shit there. And hey, but they let them continue to have shows every damn well, you know. So it's up to the parents to guide that, what your child go to and what your child don't go to, you know. So parents, you have to do your research now. God damn, let me tell you, parents, these kids listen to what the artists tell them to do more than they listen to what their own parents tell them to do. Now, something wrong, parents. Now, y'all got to stop being them punk-ass parents now and start getting a handle on your kids. And I heard a whole lot of people say, well, you know, it was mostly, the Travis crowd is mostly white folks and Hispanic folks. Ain't too many black people. I don't care what kind of crowd he got, even if it's a black concert. So you have black concerts, the black kids go to fighting and shooting and all that, having rivalries and all that. So it ain't no different. Everybody kids go out here being destructive and listening to their artists tell them do something, and they do it, and then they be in a world of damn trouble while their artists or whoever they love go back home to their $40 million homes and sit down and eat on snacks and drinks and shit while your kid is in damn jail for doing some bullshit that the artist told them to do. Parents, now you got to get on the ball. You got to stop letting your kids go out here like that. All these damn kids acting a fool like that. See, everybody got a lot of blame to go around. I'm going to tell you that right now. You know, so talk to your kids. Talk to your kids about all this, you know. Now, these artists don't give a damn about your kids. All the artists want is y'all money, the kids' money, your money to come and see them. And after that, they are gone. They don't give a damn about that. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a damn. I'm going to tell you, you heard the guy that in the last video, the one that y'all seen here that came back and told his story. In my first video, he said people in the VIP section, when they was bringing people over there that was unconscious and passed out and stuff, they were trying to bring them over there in the VIP section because it had more room that they can work on. Said people in the VIP section were like, get up out of here, go, don't bring them over here. We don't want them over here. So see, and then you got to think about it. Most people in VIP section over there was artists and celebrities, they damn self. And so they didn't give a damn about nobody. They didn't want them over there by them. So parents, you have to understand now. That's allegedly. That's what the boy said. You know, so you got to understand that these artists don't give a damn about your kid life, about your kid nothing. Broken ankles, broken this, broken that, unconscious, all that. They don't give a damn. All they want is the kids' money and y'all money. And y'all got to pay close attention. Because it don't make no sense when an artist can tell your kid to do something dangerous and they do it, but when you tell them to take out the goddamn trash, they got their mouth poked out, sticked out, mad as hell. And when you tell they ass to go in there and wash them damn dishes, they got their mouth poked out, they talking back, talking smart to you, and all that shit. But when the artists tell them to jump off a goddamn skyscraper, they do it in a goddamn minute. Parents, we got to stop being punk-ass parents now. There's no way in the hell your kids should be listening to a celebrity instead of your ass, or listening to a celebrity better than they listen to your ass. No, that shouldn't even. And another thing, y'all kids and everybody going to these damn concerts, stop wearing them goddamn flip-flops, because you got your feet all open and people stepping all on your feet and all that shit right there. Stop wearing them old cheap-ass flip-flops and shoes and shit to a concert, especially when you know it's going to be packed like that, because your feet and shit get all scun up around now. You know, so parents, stop letting your kids be the boss of your ass. That don't make no sense. That's all that show. It's some bad parenting going around when you see all these kids. And like I say, it's all nationalities. Because if you look at this, it's all nationalities that go to these concerts, go different type of concerts, and y'all kids are being very destructive. Why? Why? I don't give a damn about all that raging and all that stuff right there. Talk to your kids. You don't let a celebrity turn your child into a fool, or turn your child into a demon, or turn your child into a destructive ass person. And then that celebrity go back to their $1 million and enjoy it at the house, and your kid is stuck in a hell of a lot of decades full of damn trouble. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. So a lot of this blame goes to the concert goers, the people who was at the concert. They had disregard for life. They did not give a damn. A lot of them, not all of them now, but the majority of them did not give a damn who was on the ground, who they were stomping on. That come from parenting. That come from parenting. You need to start checking out your kid. God damn, you need to go a lot of parents need to go right now somewhere and get a drug kit and start testing your damn kids. I'm trying to tell you, you'll see a whole lot of positives around this mud. I'm finna tell you right now, it be positive all over the United States. I'm telling you, I think y'all kids ain't doing what you, they ain't doing that. I'm telling you right now. Hey, Say a lot of y'all right now, especially you know your kid went to the concert and all that, and if these kids are out here, you better start doing some pop-up drug tests around here. Because you got to get your kids back on point. Because they're going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble pretty soon. Acting like this. It didn't make no sense where they were busting down them barricades and shit and carrying on and knocking down the metal detector. You got people going in there with backpacks. You don't know what was in them damn backpacks. Luckily, it wasn't nothing too serious down off in them backpacks because it could have been a real tragic going on. Luckily, didn't nobody bring no weapons and guns and nothing like that, because that could have been massive. That's why I say it's a hell of a lot of responsibility, accountability that needs to be put on some people. And I'm going to tell you right now, it do start with the parenting. Yep, because Travis didn't raise those kids. Them kids just fell into his fan base. But we got to teach our kids, if you can fall into a fan base, but don't be no goddamn fool for no celebrity. Don't turn into no demon for a celebrity. Don't turn into a damn, a evil person and an evil spirit because of a celebrity. Parents, now y'all gonna have to get on the damn ball for real. Be a whole lot of parents mad at me. I don't care. I really don't care. Still hit the like and subscribe. But anyway, so you got the parents that need some blame, take some blame. You got the concert goers, need to take some blame, some of them. You got the security company, need to take some blame. Then you got the production company, need to take some blame. Then you got the producers and all that, need to take some blame. Travis Scott, take some blame. There's a whole lot of people that need to take some blame around here. Because this is uncalled for. Uncalled for. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm glad mine ain't never got caught up in nothing like that. And I have grandkids. And I'm going to tell you, they love different type of celebrities and different type of stuff. But honey, we research around here. Oh, they got such and such coming to town or whatever. We go to rolling and see what type of person this is they talking about. Oh no, you might not be able to go to that one. Why? Because sit down, let me talk to you. I don't want you to think I'm saying no because I don't want you to have fun. Let's sit down and talk about what I just seen, that the history of this person you like. Or this person you call a celebrity. And if the celebrity or whoever they want to see is an okay background, is an okay person when it comes to doing concerts and stuff like that, then yeah, they can go. So parents, we got to get on the ball. Stop being them punk-ass, scared-ass parents, scared to tell your kids something. That don't make no sense. But then a celebrity come right along and tell your kid to do something, and now you mad that, oh, that celebrity made my kid do this. That celebrity made my kid stomp on another person. That celebrity, no, that come from parenting, boo. That's all I got to say about that. That come from parenting. So let's talk to our kids. That's all I got to say about that, but the blame goes everywhere. It just don't start and stop with Travis Scott. Gain knowledge to prevent blockage. And we all know what that means. The more you know, the harder it is for anybody to block y'all from y'all goals and success. Bye-bye.